Want to know the 8 simple steps that you can follow to eliminate every objection you can possibly come across? All that and more in this morning's marketing tip. Hey my friend, this is Greg Gomez III, founder, CEO, FastStartMarketer.com. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to share with you the 8-step formula that I use every single time to eliminate an objection every time I run across it. I can't tell you the impact that having a proper process to identify, isolate, and obliterate objections has done for my business. I remember the first time that I got an objection, or a rebuttal booklet actually. I was on this money objection. I couldn't help this person understand the perspective of how much money they were going to be able to save versus where they were. You see, it wasn't a question of whether or not they were spending the money that was the cost of our fees. The challenge was they were doing it over and over again in the form of higher rates. And I couldn't get this thought through to them. Just then my manager walks in, hands me a rebuttal booklet he had just completed fresh off the presses. And when I read it as follows. Dear Mr. Johnson, I completely understand what it is that you are saying. I don't blame you for being skeptical in today's day and age. However, in this case, this is an opportunity for you to be able to reduce your interest rates, and you're already paying those fees. You're just doing it now at a higher rate. This way you're able to pay it once and actually save money and get your balances paid down much faster. Doesn't that help? Doesn't that make more sense? Yes, it does. Great. How did you want to get started today? Was that Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover? Oh, let's use Visa card. I'm sitting there holding this thing while he's saying that, and then he starts giving me the credit card number. I'm like, Well, when I got off the call, I realized this book is magic. It literally, like light from the heavens shine down on it. And when I realized how powerful succinctly putting your argument or your case for a better life for your prospect into this formula, it really made a massive impact. Now, over the years, I've learned more effective and less effective ways with dealing with rebuttals and handling objections. And here's the key 8 steps that I have. They're in order, so here we go. First step is acknowledge. First thing that's very important that you must do with a prospect is we don't get enough acknowledgement in our lives. Too many times people try to combat, and most importantly, bad salespeople will try to prove that they're right. They'll roll their sleeves up and say, boy, here's why you're wrong, and this is why you should buy my stuff. Well, what that ultimately winds up doing is people of this, I forget the quote or where it came from, but I heard it from Brian Tracy, who said people of his opinion or still of the opinion still, it's some type of rhyme, convince a person against their will and they're still they're of the same opinion still, I guess is how that goes. Thanks, Brian. You made me tongue-tied here. But the bottom line is that if you don't acknowledge a prospect, if you don't validate where they're coming from, if you don't listen to them, you don't let them know that they are heard, they're not going to hear you. You must first hear before you can be heard as a salesperson. Do you understand that? Or as a marketer, as a representative. So it's critical, it's not just important, it's critical to the entire foundation. You start with, hey, I understand where you're coming from. I hear you saying this, 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 and this. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, great. Call that active listening. You repeat back to them what you hear them saying. Great. Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Acknowledge them. Now we do a soft takeaway. The big thing is now once they say, okay, so I hear you saying this. Is that right? Oh, is that your argument? Oh boy. All right, as a salesperson, we just jump right in there, right? We're like, yeah, you can. We just punch them. We want to fight. So what is our prospect's knee-jerk reaction? They get their shield, they get their armor, they get their spear, and they join the phalanx with their other 300 warriors to try to defend against your sales pressure. This is sales resistance. There's an easy way to disarm this sales resistance. It's called the soft takeaway. It's a matter of he's got his shield, he's got his spear, he's ready to do battle. That's what I'm saying, that's my objection. Very simply, you just say, hold on a second. Keep in mind, it's not mandatory you don't do this. If you just don't want the program, that's totally okay. I'm not here to twist your arm or force you into taking advantage of the program. You don't stop there. You roll right into step number 3, which is redetermining the interest. The only reason I'm even bringing this to you is because in the beginning when we talked, you seemed very dissatisfied with your current financial situation and that you specifically asked for a way to create some extra revenue from home. That was the only reason I was bringing this to you. In your case, I mean, are you still interested in learning how to be able to create some extra income from home? I mean, is that something you're really wanting to do? Yes, it is, they say. It's just that bleh. And then they birth the real objection. This is called the real objection birth, okay? They will tell you. So we've acknowledged them. We've done a soft takeaway. It's not mandatory you do it. It's just that when we started, we redetermined the interest. You wanted to have this result. Is that something that you still want? You know, never mind the price and our program and all the challenges here. Is that result still something that you actually want? Very empowering statement right there. I'm doing my Bill Clinton. That's right there, ladies and gentlemen. When you ask and you re-advocate for your prospect's desire for a better life, what you're ultimately doing is you're letting them know subconsciously, look, I'm on your side. If you want that, that's what I'm trying to help you achieve. If you don't want that, if you're satisfied with where you are, it's fine. I'm not here to twist your arm. I'm not going to try to hurt you. Does that make sense? Okay. So we've acknowledged, we've taken it away softly, we've redetermined their interests. Now we're going to set the issue aside. They're going to say, no, it's not that, it's just blah, just this, it's the money, it's just, I got to talk to my spouse, it's just, I'm a little skeptical, it's just, how do I know this is a legitimate business opportunity? I've heard so many stories about these pyramid schemes, and my cousin's aunt, sister's uncle's nephew was involved with the company. Oh my God, it was the worst thing ever. They wound up losing their house, and it was terrible, they got deported, and it was evil, right? Okay, I certainly understand where you're coming from with that. Again, let's set that aside for a second. Let's assume for a second, I can understand why you feel that way, but let's set that aside for a second and assume that that's actually not the issue here. If that is resolved to your satisfaction, would there be anything else that would stop you from moving forward with this? Do you actually see value in this program? So what you're essentially doing is you're saying, I see this package you're giving, but there's this one thing in there and that's a deal breaker. Okay, set that one thing aside. If that weren't an issue, is this appealing? Is this something that you would want? Well, yeah, that looks good, but it's that thing over there. Okay, I get it. So what we're doing is we're isolating it, and we do this twice. I get it. Again, set that aside. We'll deal with that in a second. We'll come back to that. Put a pin in that. But everything else, is there anything else about this that you don't like? No, it's awesome. It's great. It's what I want. It's just that thing over there. Okay, so if I can show you a way that we can deal with this thing so that's not upsetting the rest of this process, breaking your bank, you can see that you're 100% secure in the transaction. If I can show you a safe way to get it done so you're not risking any money, whatever the issue is that they have, skepticism, money, I need to talk with somebody else, which is usually based and rooted in uncertainty or confusion on the offer. Is this something you want? Oh yeah. So if I could show you how to get this without this being an issue, are you saying you would take this today? Oh yeah, I would take that today. Notice how I conditioned for the time frame for today. Okay, great. Now we rebut. Now we actually go through, well, the reason we allow you to, see, I understand this is a lot of money, $397, $500, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000, whatever the price point is. It's a lot of money. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it isn't. However, it's not a question of, just like we said before, it's not a question of whether or not you're paying this fee. See, the challenge is you're doing that over and over again in high prescription costs and the drugs you wind up paying that you may or may not necessarily need to be consuming. Now, I'm not telling you to stop your prescriptions. However, if you had an opportunity, though, to be able to do and empower your body all naturally with the products that we have provided here to help balance your nutrition intake, and you even had the potential for that, is that something that's worth giving it a shot, at least for 90 days? Here's even better. At the end of the 90-day time frame, I can't guarantee results. I'm not trying to treat, cure, mitigate, or prevent any disease whatsoever. That's not what this program's about. However, at the end of the 90-day time frame, if you used it as directed, we have a full money-back guarantee process. If for whatever reason you don't feel like this was a great investment for yourself after you've done it for the 90 days, I'll be happy to buy the program back, or the company will be happy to buy the program back from you and all of the product that you've purchased. All we're asking is giving yourself an opportunity. Is that fair? Yeah, no, that actually really is fair. Okay, great. So now we ask the comprehension question. That's step number 7. So we've acknowledged, we've taken it away, we've redetermined their interest, we've isolated we've set aside the issue, then we've isolated it twice. Then we've actually rebutted. Now we're asking a comprehension question. Does that make sense? Do you see how that works? Is that clear? Do you see where I'm coming from? Are we on the same page? Is it making more sense now? Yes, it is. Great. In that case, then we close for the next step. Step number 8, simple. Great. When's a good time for us to get together on Tuesday so you can see the rest of the information? That's a close. How did you want your name to appear on your paperwork? Obvious subtle close or secondary close. Name. You have first and last name, or do you have a middle initial that you want to use? Or the direct close. Hey, go get your credit card. Let's get it done. Hey, I've had bacon and eggs for breakfast this morning. Let's get this done. People laugh at that close. That close has made me a lot of money, and it's a silly close, but it's a statement of confidence and a direct close that tells the person to get started right away. So the 8 steps. Acknowledge your prospect's concerns. Take it away to remove the buying pressure. Redetermine their interest. Figure out how committed they are to achieving that result. If they don't want it bad enough, it's okay. You don't want them on your team. Set their issue aside. They'll birth at that point between redetermining interest, after redetermining interest. They'll tell you what the real objection is. Set that aside, and then isolate it. Would there be anything else that would stop you from taking advantage of the program today? No, there's not. Okay, so if I can show you a way to get this taken care of today so there's no risk whatsoever, you're saying you would take this program now? Yes, I would. Great. Now we've set it aside. Now we're going to go through, or isolated it rather as well. Now we go through the final swing. We rebuttal. We give just a simple, concise rebuttal, an explanation of why and how we do those things. We then ask a comprehension question. Does that make sense? Do you see how that works? Is that clear? And then finally, we close for the next step. Yes, it is. Great. How do you want your name to appear on your paperwork? Simple. Do you want to close more business into your team? Do you want to get more team members onto your team? More importantly than that, those that do come onto your team, do you want to empower those team members to be effective at dealing with simple objections in the beginning of the prospecting, after the money's been discussed, after a presentation, or even after someone's come on board and then actually is having second thoughts, or towards the end of being on your program for 30, 60 days, they may want to cancel. Would you like to be able to have rock solid skills to be able to deal with every single one of those objections? If the answer is yes, then it's simple. Register for the webinar this Thursday where I'll go through your specific objections, the issues you're running into, because here's the secret to dealing with objections. All the objections you're getting, you're creating them. And I'm going to show you on Thursday how to, more importantly, identify how you're creating them and eliminate them from your dialogue and from your repertoire. I don't get objections typically. If I do, they're rooted in one of two main concerns. Either I don't have the money, or I don't believe you, or I don't believe in myself. And if that's the case, all of those are very easy to deal with. I'm going to show you how to take care of those this Thursday. It's simple. Register for the webinar below, and I'll see you on Thursday's webinar. Do you want your team members to be empowered? Then I'm going to suggest something to you. For those you feel could improve their skill sets, very simple. Tag them in the video or in the comment section below. Share this video with your team members. Post it on your wall. Get the word out there. I have no agenda. I want you to be an empowered entrepreneur. And the answer to that is understanding, developing your skills with how to do role playing, how to actually deal with objections, and most importantly, how to have the confidence to be able to help your end user by demonstrating leadership to take their confusions, organize them, set the main issue aside, separate the bad from the good or the confusion from the things they want, and then deal with the real issue. Because if you're just shooting like shotgun blasts all over the place, you're going to cost yourself money. And more important than that is that you're going to cost your end user a better quality of life. That, my friend, is not an option you have. That's not a luxury you can afford. You have an obligation to help empower other people's lives. And the way that you're going to learn how to do that is by improving your ability to communicate. And one of the biggest points of that is objection handling. Earning trust, becoming a trusted advisor, and it starts with these 8 steps. Rewatch this video. I can't suggest it enough. Rewatch this video, tag folks that you feel would benefit from this, get the word out there, and then for sure join us on Thursday's call. I'll see you there.